Galio. To be fair, out of all that, I feel like if they ban out the Galio, it gives ENDO a much better position in terms of these team fights, because Cold Acute on the Galio, with the help of Lee Sin, was building a great foundation for the squishier champs. No, ENDO's going for the same bans. They're going for the same bans over and over again. Not too sure I understand this logic on the side of ENDO Gaming, but hey-ho. That's why I'm sat here, and that's why they're playing. Emotional damage. And then we see the Z ban again, but they ban out the Karma, expecting Karma to go APC or mid. Interesting. Oh, we're getting a few different picks here on the side of ENDO Gaming. They've gone for the Sion here. So it's going to be Gragas and Kaiser in the bot lane, Sion in the Baron lane, Kha'Zix in the jungle, and then they just need their mid lane pick. Oh no. Oh no. What do you see coming, Ardoni? What do you see coming, dude? What's got you oh-no-ing? There we go. We have the Galio pick once again. So Almighty Capybara Elite's literally going for the same team comp. I see some mental boom. Do you reckon? Do you reckon that's what it is? Do you reckon that's why they've gone for the same bans? Because they feel like they just played very bad last match? But surely you take that on the chin, surely. Surely you take that on the chin. Oh, Renekton there. Renekton could go mid. We've seen Renekton go into the mid lane, but he's normally a Baron laner. The Kali's more than likely going to go into... I think whichever lane the Kali doesn't go to, obviously Renekton's going to be there. But it's a nice addition to see the Renekton over the Akali in the Baron lane, and they've gone for the Akali in the mid lane this time. And it looks like they're actually going for a better AP champion, so they're going for the Ori with the Charm, the Assassin playstyle as well. It's a little bit of a night and day pick, because we've just gone from Orianna being in the APC lane. But we're going to see Kaiser fall into that position, and then we're going to see the Ori go into the mid, going against the Akali. So seeing that Charm come out onto the Assassin. But that's the most important thing. ENDO have got to make sure that they can manage to land the Charm onto the Akali, not just sort of like, oh, we got an Akali, what are you going to do about it? Unless it's a comfort pick. It could possibly be a comfort pick. But Sion going against the Renekton, it's an interesting one. Because we saw Galio very heavily present in the enemy Baron lane a lot of last match. So for them to go Sion is interesting. Do I think we'll see the 3 Divine Sunders come out first items on 3 champions? Possibly. Ranking Fortitude updates. Smoother and gonna zoom out and resume the cast. So this is the second round in the best of 3 series between Almighty Capybara Elites and ENDO Gaming Esports. Currently, Almighty Capybara Elites are 1-0. But that's what I mean, Ardoni. You have to put 110% when your team is putting 75%. If that's me being really, really generous to my team, saying that they're putting 75% when they're really probably putting maybe 35%. But anyway, less of the rant. Back onto the game. This is why we're here to cast it. But we're seeing the Galio go up into the Baron lane to help the Renekton. Are we actually doing some successful trades in the mid lane? Turn that down. Doing some successful trades in the mid lane. So the Ori pick is already instantly seeming to be better than the Aurelia pick. that we saw recently in the last round. Kaiser going 1v1 against the Ziggs in the bot lane, so two very pokey damage champions down in the bot lane, just juking it out. Literally, there's so many big champions in the Baron lane. It's just a big cluster of big champions. I have zoomed out, just because they're so big champions. Nice CC onto the Scion there. I think that was a bit of a mistake, though. The taunt should probably gone in first with the Galio, because that's exactly what will happen if that happens again. If Renekton goes in with a CC, we're just going to get that launch up from Scion, which is going to be a hard thing to him to catch his breath from, especially with the Gragas coming in with the belly flop as well. He has to be very careful. Lee Sin is on the prowl. They are looking for a first blood here. I believe first blood once again goes to Endo Gaming. There we go. Glacier's ultimate. There we go. There's a first blood, just as I called it. I'm not even looking at that lane. First blood goes to Endo Gaming once again. It is Aurelia, not Aurelia, Ori getting the first blood in mid lane, so fair play. Right, Renekton having to dash out of there. I think that's probably a good point to recall. They do have vision in that bush, whether that's a bait for the Lee Sin to come in there, but they don't take the bait. They actually don't take the bait, so Endo Gaming, I don't think has as much mental boom as we originally thought, Mr. Ardoni. I believe they actually are playing this very well. They must just be comfort picks. Akali going 1v1 against the Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix actually feeling like he has to get out of there, because Sanjin already doing a lot of damage onto the Kha'Zix already. We see those new mana boots being built both on the Ziggs and the Akali. Gotta be careful here. Akali misses out the charm. Ori does onto the minion. That was a bit useless. That would have been nicely done for Sephiro there on the Ori, especially with the Gragas rotated around once again. Even though they got first blood's taken place in the same lane both times. Prince has got to get out of here. He has the Gragas here, he has the Akali, and he has the Kha'Zix as well. It's a party down in the bot lane just for the kill onto the Ziggs. I felt that. I felt that many times in just normal rank. Getting 3 of the enemy team come for you just under the turret, and there's nothing you can do about it. Not even with all the utility under Ziggs' kit, he couldn't have got out of that if he tried. We'll see how the team fights play out. Yeah, exactly. I mean, so far, Endo Gaming's actually playing a much better match. I feel like these picks are definitely better for them. I feel like Kha'Zix feels a little bit more at home in the jungle, whereas the Volibear, even though despite his really good ults into the lanes, I feel like the Kha'Zix jump is probably being used a lot better. The fact that it's not an ultimate means that it's going to be used more as well. It's going to have a less of a cooldown than an ultimate, like you would see on Volibears engaging. But yeah, currently Endo Gaming actually ahead in kills, in gold ever so slightly as well. We're seeing the mid laners rotate down to the bot lane, and then we're seeing the dual lanes actually rotate up into the Baron lane. We're seeing, oh, Lee Sin kicking out the Gragas under the turret, but unfortunately for Almighty Capybara Elite, it didn't quite go in their favor. We see the Kaiser going straight up and taking a triple kill for Endo Gaming. So 5-0 currently for Endo Gaming. That is a kill per minute for Endo Gaming currently. And for Almighty Capybara Elites, they don't have a single kill, but this could be where they get their first kill, and they do, just right as they're trying to go for the Rift Herald objective. We see that Kha'Zix falls short there to Prince on the side of Almighty Capybara Elites. We're seeing Kaiser full health with Gragas as well. Lee Sin goes in, he has the smite. They do take the Rift Herald, so nicely set up there for Almighty Capybara Elites. They managed to capitalize on taking out the Kha'Zix and going for the Rift Herald, but then we see the Ori come in with the Kaiser, with the full health Scion and the Gragas as well, all aiming and focusing on ColdQ. ColdQ missing out, but he is just literally a sitting duck under that Rift Herald camp. We see the Lee Sin go in and take out the Kha'Zix though, so currently a 2-1 trade, but the one trade happened very much earlier on within that team fight, so for the Lee Sin to go back in and take another kill was a great thing for Almighty Capybara Elite, putting them still in the game, but they are now still almost 2k gold behind already. Which is a different pace from last match. Last match we saw them basically dilly-dallying with 100 gold apiece. Like, well, hundreds of golds per difference for quite some time, to be fair. And now we're seeing already a 2k gold difference on the side of ENDO Gaming. It's shrunk a little bit. It has shrunk a lot now. It has shrunk a lot because I've taken some of those shields off of the mid lane turret there with that Rift Herald. Nicely done. Cold Q going in with Taunt. We see Lee Sin going in on with the first ability. Not quite getting the kick. He does kick the Ahri out of the turret, I believe it was. Yes, it was. Kicks the Ahri out of the turret. But then he has to get out of there because he's pretty low. Kha'Zix gets lost in the source there. He goes in on a 4v1 because the Kaiser and the Ahri was a little bit too far behind to do any damage with any of their ranged skills, unfortunately. But look at how low all that team is. If only they could get in and do some damage onto all that. That would be an easy quad kill for them. The only thing that's in their way is more than likely that Ziggs with those satchel charges, being able to push them away from that team fight. But yeah, that's something you didn't want to lose. 4 deaths under a turret when you're already 1 kill behind. First turret destroyed actually goes to ENDO Gaming. So not only did they get first blood, they get first turret as well. But then we see the Ziggs act very quickly in response into that and gets that mid lane turret, which was already taken down quite a lot of damage by the Rift Herald, by the way. We saw the Ziggs just finish off the job in that mid lane. Still ENDO Gaming ever so slightly ahead in gold, not massive. We see Akali getting a kill onto the Sion. Sion having to proc that second wind. We see the Galio going in under the turret in the bot lane. Gragas ult pops off as well, but it's definitely going in favor of Almighty Capybara Elite right now. They're managing to take a 2-0 trade in that bot lane. Kha'Zix goes, actually no, the Ahri comes back in, takes a kill onto Cold Q there. So down goes the Galio. Rennett's going in on single target CC, but then gets a lot of that AP damage taken to him. Oh! Gragas getting out there with very little health once again. He's a lucky charm champ right there. So Almighty Capybara Elites losing another turret. So that's all 3 first tier turrets for Almighty Capybara Elites going down. What did I miss? ENDO Gaming actually coming back a little bit, to be honest. They started off the game very well. They were 5-0 in terms of kills pre 5 minutes. So they had a really good start of the match, and you can see that now reflecting in the gold difference. Well, the lack thereof gold difference. And their turret game. So their lane priority currently is a lot better than that first match. So these are clearly either comfort picks or this is a strat that they are much, much more used to than the previous one. We're seeing the Sion split push in the Baron lane whilst they're having a split team fight here. We've got the Lee Sin going against the Kha'Zix on a 1v1, but then we've got a 3v3 here. No one actually getting killed, though, other than the Kha'Zix pretty low. Ahri was forced to recall and go back, but Sion just pushing that Baron lane. So Almighty Capybara Elites have got to be a little bit more careful leaving this Sion to do what he needs to do. And that is a split push. Cool, TY for the update, no problem. Sion going for a rotate into that mid lane. Akali might get caught out here. Sanji just missing that charm from the Ahri, but it's a 3v1, but she still manages to come out with a kill, so fair play to Sanji there, getting a 1-1 trade in a 3v1 matchup there, so fair play, fair play. Akali not going for that Divine Thunder this time around. Going for that full AP build so far with the Rift Maker and Rabadons. Getting as much AP damage as possible. Forcing the tanks like Sion and Gragas to build more than just either physical damage, physical resistance, sorry, or magic resistance. They have to build both, which is always a toss of a coin when you are building tank. It's like, what do I go for? What do I prioritize? Do I prioritize magic resistance, or do I want to go for some physical defense straight away? But the Gragas has gone for the Warmog, so that is physical defense there. And then we're seeing the Sunfire Cape on the side of Scion, as well as the Hullbreaker. And we saw that Hullbreaker come into full fruition because he's taken that Baron lane and completely dominated it. There's only the inhibitor still up in that Baron lane. And here we go, some Zig ults going in, doing some massive damage onto the Gragas. But Gragas smartly doing a nice status there. Cold Q getting caught out once again by quite a lot of CC from the Gragas and the Ori. Another status on the side of Almighty Capybara Elites. The Renekton's the only one up. Double kill for Ori. We've still got Phaeton there. Can he get in and steal the Mountain Drake? It's still too high in health, but does he do it? He does steal it. Oh, fair play to Almighty Capybara Elites, but at what cost? They lose all their team. That is a team wipe for ENDO Gaming right now. Team ENDO going for that Baron Nashor because they have no contest there. They've got no smite to contest it. There we go. So ENDO getting that Baron Nashor buff. As if that Baron lane hasn't been pushed already. They now have the Baron minions as well. Coda Q looking to keep the Scion from recalling as the Akali rotates as well. So Sanji coming in. Could we see a 2v2 going on in the top half of the map here? The Scion going against the Galio and the Akali with the help of Kha'Zix. No, they're looking to keep that team fight from happening as long as possible. They're looking to delay it as the Kha'Zix farms up, because Kha'Zix is currently on 0-4. He actually hasn't confirmed any kills, and he's currently behind 200 gold from the enemy jungler, which isn't massive, but it is a start of something. It is a gap and a rift that can only get bigger if you don't close it. We see Renekton going 1v1 on the Ori, and it's just not quite matching up his playstyle. The Ori doing a lot of damage there. It's only because of that Renekton ult that it's saving his bacon, but we're seeing the Kha'Zix go in as well. It just takes another jump. There's that smite onto the Renekton just to slow him down, and they secure the kill on the Renekton, which gets Kha'Zix his first kill. Gragas looking for a rotate down to the bot lane, keeping the Ziggs and the Galio off of that bot lane turret. There we go. Second tier turret in the bot lane gone. The mid lane turret almost gone as well. We see the Kai'Sa getting pushed into between the inhibitor and the second tier turret, but then we see ENDO Gaming push back around and get the kill on the Lee Sin. So currently they have no jungle on the side of Almighty Capybara Elites. I really feel like the ENDO Gaming could easily push this to a 1-1 game, and then it goes for a full best of 3 between Almighty Capybara Elites and ENDO Gaming, which probably wasn't on the cards for Almighty Capybara Elites. There we go, reconnecting to game. It's going to be interesting to see who wins this one. We see that Sanji's actually done a really good push in the Baron lane, all the way up to the inhibitor in the Baron lane. So whether that's their backdoor victory for Almighty Capybara Elites, we will have to see. Only time will tell. But I honestly think that with the inhibitor gone down in the bot lane, and they don't have the Baron Nashor buff yet anymore, I think we could still see a team wipe from ENDO Gaming, because we've already saw it once. They've already taken out Almighty Capybara Elites once in a team fight, so I think they could do it again and just force another push in that bot lane or even the mid lane. Almighty Capybara Elites having some pressure up in that top half of the map as the second Baron Nashor starts to spawn in 40 seconds or so. 32 seconds actually, so whether there actually is a team fight before the Baron Nashor, or we see Almighty Capybara Elites get the Baron Nashor. Oh, double kill for Almighty Capybara Elites, taking out the Kha'Zix and the Ori. So they have no jungle. They have no jungle. If the Baron Nashor pops up, they have no jungle. Ziggs all going in. Massive damage onto Scion. We already saw the status there on Gragas. Blam, it didn't give me the live notification. Don't worry about it, dude. Welcome to the stream, bro. Hope you're on a fantastic stream. How are you? I mean, a fantastic day, sorry. How are you? I think we could see Almighty Capybara Elite win this match here now. It's currently 15 seconds till the enemy team are up in any sum of factor. And we're already got a minion wave at that Baron lane inhibitor. And then the Nexus is wide open. Yes, Almighty Capybara Elites take a 2-0 victory. Regardless of that fantastic start that Endo Gaming had. Wow. Well done, guys. I honestly thought we was going to get a full best of 3 there, but no. Almighty Capybara, 21-0. That would be a massive feat, wouldn't it? But 2-0 victory for Almighty Capybara Elites there. Well played, team. Ace Hype. Wow. What was that? You're not wrong, to be fair. That was actually a great switcheroo for Almighty Capybara Elites from going from a team wipe to then losing Baron Nashor to the enemy team. Oh, I'm going to mute this guy.